This video is not one that I wanted to make. As most of you know, I've been at Johnson & Wales for the last 4 years, and as of last Monday, I was getting ready to head into my final term. Everything then seemed to fall apart on Thursday, March 12th. Johnson & Wales shut down their classes, but the university itself remained open. I thought that would be all the university would have to do, it's spring coming, temperatures warming up. They originally had a plan to resume classes on Monday, April 13th, which is the day after Easter. Yesterday, I received an email from the university which told me that my time here was up. The university is shutting down, and in turn, all on-campus students will have to move out by noontime Sunday, March 22nd. And, I'll be honest, I don't know how to take this. I've worked so hard. I've put so much effort and countless hours into my education here, and I don't know how to handle this. I now have to look for something, a job that will use the knowledge that I've gained over the last 4 years here. And that's not going to be easy. Not impossible, but not easy. And that's given the current state of affairs of not only our country, but the world as a whole. The economy's in shock right now. We've seen the stock market drop more in the last 2 weeks than it ever has in history. Huge drops. And to make things even more interesting, we've got an oil war between Saudi Arabia and Russia, which is causing oil prices to plummet. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm loving the lower gas prices. It's going to be cheaper for me to go back and forth from Rhode Island to New York. And, so it's a little less of a burden on me. But long term, this could adversely affect us in the United States because we also produce oil. And if the prices are plummeting, we're going to start losing money. Now, as of today, at least when this video is being recorded, according to the CDC, Rhode Island has 31 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and New York has 2,601, which is the highest number of cases in one state in the country as of the recording of this video. The other two highest would be Washington, which has 930 cases, and California, which I believe has 700 something. Now, and I'll be honest with you, since this whole thing hit the news and everyone was making those, online memes about, there's no toilet paper in the stores, I've sort of avoided the grocery store. I've went to Walmart like last week. I went and got apples. And oddly enough, I got a case of water because I was out of water. And they had the 40-pack of water, and I didn't think anything of it. I didn't look at the toilet paper aisle, and that was until last Saturday, March 14th. I went and I looked at the toilet paper aisle at the Walmart over in Seekonk, and the aisle was completely empty. I mean, honestly, going through the store, it looked like it had been ransacked, and, it's led to fights in supermarkets. I'm sure most of you have seen the video of the old lady and the younger lady fighting over the pack of toilet paper, and the old lady actually won. So kudos to her. But, the supermarket's a place I would never think of that fighting and animosity such as that would be happening. We got truckers like my father who, work around the clock and are away from their families during this time, this crisis, to restock these stores that have been, pummeled. A lot of these stores are empty, The stuff people need isn't there because everyone's buying it in bulk, and there are people that are going and buying all this stuff and they're selling it online for ridiculous markup because they think they can make a quick buck off of a crisis, which honestly, we were all raised better than that. Now, it's also led to supermarkets setting special hours for the elderly who are more likely to be infected by this virus, the coronavirus, COVID-19, as it's called in the medical field. And, they're doing that so they can mitigate the infection rate in older Americans. Now, I've been personally affected by this virus. It's effectively ended my school year. Now, while I will still continue on doing my classes online, I might not walk at graduation this May, as of this recording, which is Wednesday, March 18th. I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk at graduation. And yeah, it's taken me a while to realize, the world does not revolve around me. I'm not the only person in the country that's being affected by this. I'm still at work. I'm still able to do my deliveries and work as a contract delivery driver. And I'm healthy. I'm fine. The company I work for has instituted contactless deliveries, which many customers are taking advantage of. So I'm not in contact with these people. If they are sick, I'm not touching them. Most of the restaurants are completely safe. So at least every restaurant I've been in. So no need to worry. But what I'm getting at is, it took me a while to realize the world does not revolve around me. And everyone else sort of needs to realize the same thing. Now, yes, don't get me wrong, survival is key. It's in human nature to survive and to, be alive. But, this virus has turned us from a world superpower, America, world's police, into a country that is literally fighting over toilet paper. And, we're all better than this. A lot of us went to college. A lot of us, have gone through vocational schools or are self-taught and very good at what they do. Everyone's a genius at something. And seeing people stoop so low as to fight someone over toilet paper, it's not how we were raised. Even, the younger generation, the millennials, the Gen Z, the Zoomers, we were all raised better than to fight over a roll of toilet paper. And we're all better than this. I know this virus is serious. It's a very infectious disease, and the immunocompromised are at a very high risk, and that is not something that it's something that does worry me. And honestly, this whole thing is scaring the shit out of me just because of how effective it's been in the last 2 weeks or so that it's been stateside. We as a country need to take a look abroad at countries like, Italy, Spain, because we don't want to end up in their position. Our government's doing the best job they currently can to mitigate the risk of infection and the rate of infection, and they're also trying to help the American people. There's a bill going through Congress right now, and the Senate's that is they're planning on giving most Americans a $1,000 stimulus check, which you'll it's $1,000 less you'll be able to write off on your taxes. But if you need the money now, it's better to take it now and pay it later than, not have it. And plus, it might end up being you don't have to pay it anyway because your tax return is that large, which it might be. I don't know. Mine certainly wasn't. But we all need to step up and be the people we were raised to be. Stay indoors or away from people, or do the social distancing thing that the CDC is recommending, 6 feet away from people, sanitize your hands, cough into your sleeve and all that. But, don't panic. Panicking lets the virus win, for lack of a better term. If we panic, there's nothing panicking's going to do. It's not going to make the virus go away. It's not going to make the virus, any less infectious. It's not going to, you panicking isn't going to make the virus look at you and go, nope, that bitch is crazy. It's, you panic, you still have the same chance of getting infected as the guy standing next to you. And, just be optimistic about it. Hopefully in a few weeks, with proper isolation and the warmer temperatures as we move into the spring, at least here in the United States, we can begin to put this pandemic behind us and try to get back to where we were on March 11th, before, my university shut down, majority of the courts shut down, and, states like New York began their onslaught of just closing everything down. Hopefully by mid-April, this can all be behind us, and we can honestly all say we lived through the worst pandemic of the modern age. Because this virus has affected almost every country in the world, and it's hit all 7 continents. So, my heart goes out to all those who have been affected. I hope you have a speedy recovery, and that you don't have any lasting effects like I've heard this virus may have. So, my name is Armor98, and thank you for watching.